Senator Sheen, do you have a response to today's newspaper article that says that healthcare premiums under Obamacare will skyrocket in small states like New Hampshire? Senator, any response to today's news article in The Hill? No, Senator? Senator, do you have a response to the newspaper article today in The Hill that says that healthcare premiums are going to skyrocket under Obamacare?
I appreciate it.
No response to the newspaper article, Senator? No, Senator?
Senator, are you taking any action to decrease U.S. military aggression abroad?
Mr. Heem, what do you think about the three-state project?
Are you doing anything to prevent U.S. military aggression?
In The Hill that says that healthcare premiums are going to skyrocket under Obamacare? No response to the newspaper article, Senator?
Senator, are you taking any action to decrease U.S. military aggression overseas? U.S. military and foreign policy is definitely affecting the lives of millions of people around the globe, and it would be good to see less military aggression.
Goodbye, thanks.
So what were you looking to ask the senator?
Are you?
Yeah, I'm recording. Oh, you're not interested? Yeah, I was interested in asking her about U.S. military aggression abroad, and there's so much that the U.S. military does that is to the detriment of so many people. They deal so many arms to different depressive regimes around the world, and
I saw you the other guy. Who do you guys work for?
freekeen.com. Well, it's not work, it's independent.
Oh, all right.
But
All right. Well, great if you're...
I was glad to see more than one person out willing to, with a video camera, ask her question. I think that's a good thing to see.
Yeah. If you guys are bugging her, then keep it up.
Spreading ideas.
Maybe. Yeah, that's it.
A little bit higher than I hit on you.
Okay, great.
Yep. All right, folks. Senator, how are you?
Hi, Jerry.
Jerry, I see you.
Know what to do today?
Yeah.
Good to see you, Jerry. Happy to talk to you as soon as we're in there.
Hey, Jerry.
I cannot.
Here's one of the senator cars.
Oh, yeah.
I think it is. It says 26 on it. That means it's
It's just a low digit. It doesn't mean it's a senator per se. But here's the vehicle that Mr. Brown arrived in over here. Green GMC pickup with New Hampshire plates. Of course, he'd have New Hampshire plates, wouldn't he? Rye Recycling. It's got some damage there. A lot of bumper stickers on the back.
got duct tape on it. Did you see that?
Yes.
everything's kind of a beater.
Now, if you'll notice, when Mr. Brown arrived, he came in on a cell phone, and he was saying, "I'm here, I'm at the event." He was talking to someone else who was on a cell phone 20 feet away from him. It was staged, so he wouldn't have to talk to anybody, so he could appear as though he's on a cell phone. Unfortunately, it's not going to work on the way out, because I'm actually going to try to, I'm not going to yell, but I'm going to ask my questions so that they'll be heard. Otherwise, walking in, it's like you're interfering with people's greetings. So on the way out, I think is the best time for the ambush interview questions. And I'm going to be asking him about his support of stratification of society through giving special privileges to veterans, which he cites as his greatest accomplishment. And also his position on immigration, wanting to throw people out of the country who have lived their entire lives here, if he thinks that's reasonable for someone who lives here and grew up here to be kidnapped and deported. So.
It's got completely locked.
Oh, they wouldn't let you in?
Yeah, I guess it's a closed event.
Interesting. I did not know that. Did you tell them that you're a registered Republican and that you're running for office?
No, I didn't try to play that card, but maybe I should have.
I wonder if Michael Moore, the photographer, will be allowed in.
Excuse me. Jesse Hunt, Deputy Communications Director. Deputy Communications Director. Just see. You can send me. Is Ella or Caitlin coming? I don't. Huh? Do you want to go in? Okay, perfect. I was just. She in?
I don't know. I haven't met
Okay.
him yet. But she knows it's at 4, so it's
You go on?
Oh, so there was a little bit of a gateway to the press there. Have you been certified yet? Have you got your permission granted to ask the Senate candidate a question?
I don't know. I guess I'm not special. I don't know what the deal is.
Because I'm going to shake his hand on the way out. And,
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I'll try and ask my question. I think I'm going to ask about immigration primarily.
That's good.
Oh, he's coming out. Yo, Joe. Joe.
Joe.
right over here. Come to the back of my car. Leave right away. It's all right. Don't worry about that.
Mr. Brown, I have a question about your immigration policy.
Let me call you right. Actually, I'm just leaving, so thank you. Put him right in here.
Mr. Brown, your immigration policy, you're opposed to the DREAM Act. There are people that have grown up in the United States and only known this to be their home. Do you think it's right to kick people out of the country like that?
We have a very serious immigration policy, and right now, President Obama and Senator Zizek have failed in that respect.
Well, don't you think it's important that people who have grown up and only know this country to not be forced to leave it?
We have to find a solution, certainly, and I appreciate you taking time to come down and tell everyone I said that.
Thanks for answering my question. My question relates to immigration. I know it's a very hot issue right now. And my concern is that there are people who have lived their entire lives here in the United States. They've only known this country to be theirs. But because they're undocumented, because their parents brought them here when they were very small, 2 or 3 years old, even those people are at risk for being deported. And I'd say that this is their home. So do you believe that people who have grown up here their whole lives should be at risk for deportation if they're not involved in criminal activity or doing anything otherwise wrongful?
I'd start with an immigration policy. First, we need to close the border physically and electronically. Number one, close the border. We're the single industrial country in the world that has an open border. It's unacceptable. And as long as we continue that process, we are a magnet. We're advertising for people whose governments are not operating correctly, who are rife with corruption. We're advertising to those people. We're enabling them. Don't fix your internal affairs. Come to America. Number two, my concern is that we have a rough unemployment situation. For 1 out of 8 Americans either don't have a job or underemployed or have given up looking for a job, and the jobs we do have in the United States should go to American citizens. And we start there, and once we get that under control, there may be, the American public may tolerate a discussion about what to do with the other problems associated with immigration. The blend between people who are high skill and low skill, etc. There are a variety of other issues that have to be dealt with. But first, to gain the trust of the American people, close the border and reserve the jobs we now have for Americans, go from there.
Alright, so, but like more specifically, do you think people that have lived here their whole lives and are now adults, became adults here, turned 18, do you think they should be at risk for deportation?
I'm saying that we ought to enforce the laws we have right now. The job should go to Americans. The fallout from that will result after confidence is gained among the American people that we actually have closed the borders and the jobs are going to Americans. Then I think there will be the space for political discussion about what to do with the people who are here illegally.
And one other question about you said securing the border is very important. Are you at all concerned that by putting up walls to keep others out, that they may in some point be used to keep people in, because it'll work both ways, Americans, or I'd say United States citizens not being able to leave?
I'm not concerned about that.
Well, I know when the Berlin Wall was built, it was built in the name of keeping the capitalists out. When the Chinese Wall was built, in the name of keeping the Mongols out.
I'm not concerned about that. As long as we maintain a constitutionally limited government with the powers that are accreting to an excessive level at the federal level now, as long as we stanch that process, there is not the risk of our government keeping us in. Yeah. All right.
Well, thanks for answering my question.
It's really about his strong teeth for a strong America. Thank you. I'm Vermin Supreme.
My name is Scott Olsen, and I was shot in the head by a Oakland police officer on October 25th, 2011 during an Occupy Oakland demonstration, and Officer Robert Roche then threw a CS flashbang at me and the folks who were trying to render aid to me or evacuate me. I think that throwing a grenade at people who are trying to help an injured person is one of the most malicious things you can do. He is clearly a sadistic person, and he's killed 3 people, feels no remorse, and apparently he's excited to be getting back to doing that. Robert Roche is an example of everything that is wrong with the Oakland Police Department. Check out this Facebook post. He's boasting about killing people. Shooters ready? What do you think that really means? The city reinstated Roche with around 2 years back pay on the basis that he claimed he didn't see me. This is me getting shot, and as you can see, the area is clear, and Roche is actually shooting people across the intersection. How can he be able to shoot precisely at somebody 50 feet away, but not see someone just yards away? They reinstated Roche because he was following orders. He wasn't following orders when he threw a CS blast grenade on me. And he wasn't following orders when he shot a man 20 minutes after I was shot for simply picking up a used flashbang as evidence. OPD has brought a serial killer back to the force, and in that act has let officers know that they can kill people and cost their city millions at the expense of people of Oakland, and then get paid vacation.
Makes me want to take, makes me want to take got you in custody. Got you in custody. Just sit tight. Just sit tight. That's all. They got you. Okay. Watch his glasses. There's a freedom to vote. There's a freedom to vote. Maybe it's that shady spot. The truth when things get hot. The truth when things get hot. Makes me want to take a back home. Tomorrow. It's a long way to go.
want to hurt himself. I want to okay. Alright, be careful, guys. Alright, be gentle with him. He means you no harm, okay? He means you no harm. Might be struggling a little bit, but I don't think it's personal. Sorry. I don't mind how I wanted to go see it running. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. Kid Rock, I like it. I want to hear it play.
Howdy, I have one of these threatening notes to pass on.
Yeah, that's his letter.
Yeah,
I'll hang on to this. Is this yours?
Well, they gave it to me. I didn't really want it.
What do you got there?
It's a video camera.
You're not videoing now, are you?
Yeah, but I'm not filming you. I'm just filming you.
Why?
Because this is part of a public process. There's some accountability issues involved with this ticket as well. Like I was
Yeah, I
given
don't care for that. He's videoing me. I don't like it.
I'm not videoing you if you want to see the thing. I'm videoing the process.
Well, you can't videotape us, sir.
I'm not videotaping you.
You'd have to get permission to videotape it.
Okay, well I'm not videotaping you.
I'm not processing the ticket. I'm not going to be videotaped. Whether it's from the end or whatever, it's weird.
Ooh, that's very interesting.
Very interesting that I don't want to be videoed.
I haven't videotaped your face.
Don't care.
So you're not a public servant? Hey everybody. Okay, I'm not videotaping you guys. I'm just videotaping me handing this in, which is part of a chain of legal evidence.
Okay, I need to speak to the legal lawyer for the state.
Okay, you guys can't just take a ticket in?
We can, but I don't know.
Is there a mailbox I could drop in? Because this is something that can be mailed.
Yep, P.O. Box. I think it's 338.
Okay, but it's due today, so I want to make sure you guys get it in hand today.
Okay, and we're going to give you a receipt and date stamp it.
Awesome.
Okay, so that's not sufficient for you?
Well, I would have found that to be sufficient. However, the fact that videotaping, not even you guys, just videotaping in general, is caused such a... yeah, as you can see, I'm pointed at the table here.
But the conversation is, so I think you need to shut that off until I can get legal advice.
You know we're in a public place, right?
I understand that, but this is state property, and you need, I think you...
That means that I'm one of the people who pays for it. I'm sorry that you guys think this is such a crazy thing. I mean, isn't it kind of normal that the public can film in a public place? Hey, Senator Letourneau.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good.
Well, I'm going to ask you to step aside so you can take another customer. Until she gets legal advice, can we just ask you to step aside so she can take another customer, please?
Okay.
First time I ever ran into something like that, so I just needed to check with higher-ups
And we just want to make sure if you are taping, just tell the other customers here, we want to respect their privacy.
I'm not filming anyone's face.
Awesome. So your own transaction can be on the video, but don't get anybody else, any other paperwork in there.
All right, so just go ahead, Sean, and it's all set. Mavis is verified that it's all good. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
You too.
Am I next in line? Okay. Thank you.
That's right, same as the barber, so it's the same.
What's the tissue?
Oh, it was just a nice little American flag wrap I had for you.
Oh.
Thanks, Mavis.
And then, well on that one.
Who does one?
I know, I talked.
I can't even check and see if we do this one here. Hang on.
Yeah, because it's not a motor vehicle, yet he told me it was a motor vehicle violation. I was walking a bike.
Right, I understand that, but I just have to make sure it's something that gets processed here.
Okay.
So 266 and 86 bicycle. Are we sure that gets processed here?
What do you mean bicycle? I don't know.
I was walking a bicycle and I was cited for not having a light on a bicycle that I was walking.
Oh.
And it was an officer who I had filed a complaint against a year ago for stopping me from filming him in the past. So I think, I don't know, I think there's legal issues with the ticket, but I plan on fighting it in court.
You plead not guilty?
Right.
Oh, okay. He's pleading not guilty, Sean. Oh. Right? You're pleading
Yes, pleading not guilty.
Send it to the court anyway. Yeah, just have, well, check off, plead, have him send it off. Okay. Right.
Yeah, you're all set.
So make a copy, you know, make a copy of the ticket form, front and back, with our date stamp.
Okay.
And give that back to him to show that, because we're not going to be able to give him a cash receipt. Right. So we'll give you the date stamp of the ticket, and we'll send it to the court.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, girl, you're all set. I'll forward it off to the court for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, they'll notify you by mail. It'll be Concord District Court.
Okay, have a good day.
Nonetheless, if you look closely into how even the most democratic state power functions, in order for it to display through authority, and power needs authority, there has to be, as it were, between the lines, all the time, this message of, yeah, we are legalized through elections, but basically we can do with you whatever we want.
Because that's what needs to happen. Because sometimes truth isn't good enough. Sometimes people deserve more. Sometimes people deserve to have their faith rewarded.
One of the great platitudes which are popular today when we are confronted with acts of violence is to refer to Fyodor Dostoevsky's famous statement from Brothers Karamazov, if there is no God, then everything is permitted. Well, the first problem with this statement is that Dostoevsky, of course, never made it. The first one who used this phrase as allegedly made by Dostoevsky was Jean-Paul Sartre in 1943. But the main point is that this statement is simply wrong. Even a brief look at our predicament today clearly tells us this. It is precisely if there is God that everything is permitted to those who not only believe in God, but who perceive themselves as instruments, direct instruments of the divine will. If you posit or perceive or legitimize yourself as a direct instrument of the divine will, then, of course, all narrow, petty, moral considerations disappear. How can you even think in such narrow terms when you are a direct instrument of God? This is how so-called religious fundamentalists work, but not only them. Every form of so-called totalitarianism works like that, even if it is presented or if it presents itself as atheist. Let's take Stalinism. Officially, Stalinism was based on atheist Marxist theory. But if we look closely at the subjective experience of a Stalinist political agent, leader, we see that it's not a position of an arrogant master who can do whatever he wants. It's, on the contrary, the position of a perfect servant. In the Stalinist universe, there definitely is what in psychoanalytic theory we call the big other.
What's
This big other in the Stalinist universe has many names. The best known of them are the necessity of historical progress towards communism, or simply history. History itself is the big other. History as the necessary succession of historical stages. A communist experiences himself as simply an instrument whose function is to actualize a historical necessity. The people, the mythic people, whose instrument the totalitarian leader is, are never simply the actually existing individuals, groups of people and so on. It's some kind of imagined, idealized point of reference which works even when, for example, in rebellions against the communist rule, like in Hungary 56, when the large majority of actually resisting people raises up, is opposed to the regime. They can still say, no, these are just individuals, they are not the true people. When you are accused of, my God, how could you have been doing all these horrible things? You could have said, and this is the standard Stalinist excuse, of course, my heart bleeds for all the poor victims. I am not fully responsible for it. I was only acting on behalf of the big other. As for myself, I like cats, small children, whatever. This is always part of the iconography of a Stalinist leader. Lenin in Stalinism is always presented as someone who likes small children and cats. The implication being, Lenin had to order many killings and so on, but his heart was not there. This was his duty as instrument of historical progress and so on and so on.